Brian, do you want to move into best social media practices?
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, so I know most people on here, but if I don't, I'll just do a quick introduction of myself. My name is Brian Waters. I've been in the group for approximately a year and a half. Just like you guys, when you got in, I didn't know anything. But the one thing that Jimmy kind of pushed me to do was to take action. So that's my purpose with you guys today. Luke was a big part of that for me too. But you're all here, so you obviously want to take action. But that's what got me started. I went from 0 to 7 properties, and then we have 2 more coming this month. So that'll be 9 in a year and a half, and 4 of those will be all from private money. So obviously, if I can do it, you can do it. I'm going to share my screen real quick. I put together a quick little presentation. Obviously, we're here to use it to raise private money. One thing that's important is you want to become your own brand. You are going to be the person that's going to be pitching this later, so become your own brand. The third one, which is super important, you could spend $8,000 a year or a month on advertising. I don't think any of us on this call actually need to do that at this point. It's free. So between all the different social media platforms, there's 7 billion users. That's insane. I mean, most people, they're on different ones, right? So this is a free way to make money. I want to talk about how you can learn from other people's content. This one is credibility. By you posting stuff and talking about it, it brings credibility to you, and that's what you want when you're dealing with these private lenders. Yeah, and then you want people to know what you're doing without bragging, without you actually having to go physically just call them and tell them. So the question I like to ask is, how did you guys find out about CFT? For me, I got introduced through a friend, but also I saw Jimmy on social media. Ryan's incredible at the social media stuff. I would say probably 50% of the people that join this group found this group through social media. So that obviously is proof in the pudding.
Now, Brian, you didn't find us from that video I made about forgetting about a house, did you?
No, I just clipped that one on there.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so
it is the only video I've had go officially viral.
Yeah, actually, usually when I make fun of myself, it actually gets more hits than not. So there's some strategy to that too. So Luke's on here. He just talked. Honestly, like, Luke, you're my boy. Luke set a lot of stuff in motion for me, and he challenged me. And so this is me trying to be Luke to you guys. Like, he challenged me to do this stuff. I'm not going to play this because it's just Luke giving me a little shout out on his interview with Jimmy, and it means a lot. But without these 2 guys, I would never have taken action. And I literally look at what Luke's doing, and I'm want to emulate exactly it, because he's an awesome guy. He provides a ton of value to all of us. So definitely follow his stuff. But this is me challenging everyone, just like Luke did to me. So thank you, Luke, for that. Like I was saying, the price is right. So social media, it's free. You could spend a ton of money, and the interesting part is, so far I've raised a lot less, but I've done it in a pretty short amount of time. So I've raised $350,000 probably in the last 6 months, with 300,000 more on the way. So I'm over $500,000, getting close to $1 million. And the whole point of this is that the small amount of time it takes you to post is going to give you a huge reward, right? Because if you have one lender, you can get 2 houses in a year, if that, just being conservative with doing the flips or the Berkeys. If you have 2, you can get 4. So just by getting one lender, you can get 2 houses and pretty much get them for free. So I don't know about the rest of you, but I know for the fire guys on the job, like, we go to work, we bust our butt, we run into burning buildings, we're away from our family up all night. But if I can get 2 lenders, I could make as much as I can as a firefighter in a whole entire year for doing a few posts here and there, right?
And then I'll send out a video, guys. But 2 Berkeys a year for 10 years, and that's not that hard. Like, the amount of wealth that creates is insane.
Yeah, it is absolutely insane. You're right. Yeah, so we're not talking about trying to get the syndication where you have thousands and thousands of lenders. Your goal is to get 1, 2, 3, 4. That might even be overwhelming for me if I had that many, because then I'm going to be bugging Jimmy and Christy every day to try to get me more deals, which I know they'll do well at. But So what platforms do I use? Instagram has 1.4 billion people on it. Facebook too. I use those two pretty much exclusively. They're owned by the same company. And what Instagram allows you to do is you can hit a button and it'll cross post it over to Facebook. Some people, like my parents' generation, they use Facebook more. They don't like Instagram. So I cross post, and you could cut and paste, but the more platforms you're on, the better. I know Jimmy's really big with YouTube. Jim Bevins is huge on LinkedIn because it's more business oriented and he's in the engineering world. Really just what the challenge is finding who you want to be your lenders. And I'm actually going to have an argument, not an argument. I'm going to have the flip coin on what Jimmy and what Luke were saying. I actually prefer people I know. I prefer pitching to family and to friends because that's called your warm circle. I'm still new in this stage of working on my pitch and having people trust me and making sure I have all the ins and outs of the process and the project ironed out before I go to some random dude that say, hey, I'll give you millions of dollars. And I'm like, man, I don't know what I'm doing here. This is a little sketchy. So for me, that's just my strategy. But I'm looking for my friends, my family, and their friends and family. And that's what I'm going for. However, yes, I've pitched to many people I don't know. When you're picking a username, I've kind of messed with this a little bit. I have a company called Code3 Invest. And what I've found is that when you actually use your name in your username, more of people are going to recognize it. So I sent Code3 Invest out to like 300 or 400 people I knew, and no one knew who that was. But if I send Brian M. Waters out, everyone who knows Brian M. Waters is going to come and they're going to follow me because they're like, oh, I remember Brian. He's a high school friend. He's an ex-colleague. He's a current firefighter, all that stuff. So my strategy to you would be use that. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to create yourself as the brand. That's huge because that's who eventually they're going to be lending with. And then if you want to, you can go in later and do stuff with a different website. But yeah, you're looking for the warm circle people to recognize you first. It's not unheard of to have them follow you, and then you follow their friends, and you follow their friends, and that's how the social media stuff works. So the power of so the next thing you want to do is you're going to want to follow people, right? Generally, when you follow someone, they're going to follow you back. So what I did is I went through my phone and everyone on there I would try to find on Instagram and Facebook, and then I would follow them. And it was cool. I really, besides just investing, I connected back with a ton of people from high school, and that was really cool. So I obviously follow CFT. I follow Jimmy. I follow Brad. I follow Ryan. I follow Luke. This was just saying like who you could follow, and then there's a button on there that says followers. Now you can go in there and go through the whole CFT group and follow everyone that follows CFT. What you're trying to do is you're trying to attract like-minded people. Everyone who follows CFT probably is interested in real estate, right? Well, maybe, hey, there's a bunch of people that are lenders. You don't want to go like underwater knitting and follow all those people because that's not your target audience, right? The more you follow, the more that's going to follow you back. That's more potential lenders. Then the next reason that I follow people is for content ideas. We're not trying to recreate the wheel here. What you're trying to do is you're trying to look for ideas. So I go into Luke's Instagram. I go into Jimmy's. I follow Bigger Pockets and David Green and these people. And they post about this stuff every day. I literally get my ideas from them. Sometimes I'll do the same exact post. Peter's awesome. Emily Hall is awesome. Harold Powell on our team is awesome. So there's times where I'll email or I'll text Emily, hey, can I steal that? Or Peter, can I steal that? You guys use any of my stuff, please do. That's what we're here for, to help each other, right? So don't try to recreate stuff. Just find good content and just, I wouldn't even say use it as your own, but just get the idea from them. And you're going to learn. You're going to learn from them because they're going to be talking about all kinds of cool subjects. So as far as posting, what I do is I try to post daily or weekly, but the trick is just to start. My very first one, I literally took this video like 20 times and I was laughing at myself. I'm like, you know what? Let's just see what happens. And I went for it. I felt like an idiot. But yeah, so start with the beginning of your journey and until now. So there's tons of ideas, and in a couple pages I actually give you about 15 different ideas for your posts. Post topics from the Empire and Rise Up calls. Every single day or every single time we do this, there's a different post idea you have. So today you're going to post about private money. The next time it's about whatever subject that is. I found that videos and pictures and reels of yourself are way more followed, and I get a lot more feedback from them instead of like taking a random picture of something. But when I'm actually in the video, because a lot of people will go onto social media when they're at the gym or on the treadmill and they don't want to have the audio on, but they're going to scroll by and they're going to see Spencer and they go, oh, Spencer's talking. I want to see what he's doing. So by them seeing you, or they might recognize you, that they've never even met you, and they're like, oh, that person looks interesting. So try to throw in videos of yourself. I think that gets a little bit more headway. I also do reels. So if you guys don't know, a reel is a video and that goes across the top of your screen. It's just a quick video. And then underneath that, there's posts. Reels drop off. So at some point, the reel will drop off. So I cross post it so it stays there as kind of a library, if you will. So here's some ideas. You guys could screenshot this or take a picture, but these are ideas of kind of I look back through the stuff I was doing. And I don't need to read all these, but if you want to just take them a quick second to take a picture of that, this could be your first 10 ones. You get a book, you read it, hold it up. I held up Robert Kiyosaki's book, and I just said, like, this book launched me into real estate. And then I had people ask me, who is that? What did you learn? That was pretty cool. So here's some other ones. I guess the last line is kind of, fake it till you make it. You're trying to create this sense of credibility for yourself and knowledge. And ideally, you want people to reach out to you. All right. So a few extra nuggets that have really helped me. I'm almost finished here, but what I did is I created a website, and you guys could check that out too, but code3invest.com. And if you're going to pitch someone for hundreds of thousands of dollars and they ask you, hey, what's your website? Let me check it out for more information. And you don't have one, they're probably going to be like, they're like, it's pretty simple to do. I set up a free one on Wix. And it gives a little bit of more credibility again. So the next part is be yourself, be authentic. Don't drive fancy cars and jets, all that stuff. It's so gimmicky and stupid. You want people to know who you really are and kind of what you do. Just be yourself. That's all I can tell you. We already talked about the open-ended question stuff, but that's been helpful for me. I always say, like, hey, you want to learn about this? Download the free ebook on my website. And at that point, they go on there and they click on my website. I'm capturing an email, and that becomes a potential lender. Let's see here. Okay, so this part I think is pretty important. So, a year ago I was on these Zoom calls and I would never talk. I was super nervous. I just would.
I remember Shy Brian. That was fun.
It was fun, yeah, and like I've never been a big social media person. I don't even think my wife follows me on these things. It's kind of funny. But I do it for business purposes. And what I've gained over the course of my social media stuff and my time with Jimmy and my time with Luke is that I'm building confidence. And if you're going to pitch someone for multiple thousands of dollars and you can't even take a video of yourself and just put it online, we're way behind. So what I've used is social media as a platform to build not only my confidence, but also my strategy and my pitch. So the more I talk about it, because before I go to talk about something, I actually go learn the subject matter. And once I know the subject matter, now I'm a better investor myself, but now I can go explain it to someone. And that's what you're going to want. You don't want someone to call you and you just be like, I have no idea. Right. So you got to be confident and be able to pitch. So you want to be able to eventually stand up in front of tons of people and talk about this. So that's going to be the gateway to that. So also, it's a great way to meet people, build your team. I've been like curious about stuff in Detroit per se. So I'll go on there and start searching people. All of a sudden, I found lenders, I found real estate agents, I found contractors there. You could find anything. You just need to search it, and you need to be willing to make the phone call. So don't always praise other people. My strategy is to get on to people's I mean, number one, Luke is amazing. So I know nothing about multifamily. Luke is the man. So you know what I do on my social media? I say, if you want to invest in private or invest private money into a single family residence out of state, contact Brian. And however, if you're interested in out of state multifamily, there's a guy named Luke. He's the legend at this. Here's his information. I'm trying to provide content for all of us, right? We're a team, you guys. And so by me being able to give a shout out to Luke and hopefully he can get something out of that. I know the way business 101 is you provide value to people and that will come down to you. It's just good karma. So
can I add some? Can I build off that real quick, Brian?
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the unspoken advantages of a community like this is I know, like, if I post something or Brian posts something, there's so many people in CFT and Rise Up that will jump in the comments and like hype me up and like it, which makes you look like you've got all these people that really engage with your stuff. But then as somebody that owns an ad agency, what a lot of people don't realize is the way the algorithm works on Facebook and Instagram, the more people interacting with your stuff, Facebook and Instagram are going to say, oh, this is important. You're going to open it up and show it to more people. So what Brian's talking about is super, super important because if you guys will post, you're going to have the support of everybody on this call and the other members in this community. They're going to jump in and hype you up, which is going to make you look really important, but also to Facebook's algorithm, it's going to allow them to show it to more people because Facebook thinks that other people want to see it. So I would take advantage of that. Brian gets benefit from it. I've gotten benefit from it. Emily jumps in on my stuff. Like it's a really, really, really powerful thing that I don't think enough people talk about.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you, Luke. Very, very good. So this is my challenge to you, just like Luke challenged me. It's going to be a 30-day, 30-post challenge, okay? So the very first thing I want you guys to do, and this is starting, let's say starting tomorrow, I'll give you time to set up an account. And you're going to sign up for 2 platforms. I recommend Facebook and Instagram. You're going to post 30 times in 30 days. That seems like a lot, but it could be something very simple as just a picture of this Zoom call. Had an amazing time with my investors. Boom. That's it. Just get the ball rolling. It sounds like a lot of posts. I don't care. Do 5 a day, whatever. People generally post in the morning or in the evening. That's when people are going to be looking at their phones the most instead of during the business hours. So think about timing as far as when you want it to come out. Follow 30 people a day. So start with the people in the group, start following each other, engage in each other's content, like Luke was saying, ask questions. And that's the challenge. So I think you guys could do it and you'll be amazed at some of the connections you're going to make. And then most importantly, this is kind of, I know this is Jimmy's big deal too, but use this wisely. It is so easy to get sucked into social media and doom scroll and spend time away from your kids. The reason we all got on this, you guys, part of this group is to get our time back, right? And to become multimillionaires also, right? But so don't doom scroll, limit your time, whether it's 10 swipes a day, whatever. And I'm guilty of this too, but let's set good examples for those around us, especially our kids. Avoid the rabbit holes because it's so easy. And that's going to take your time away from actually what you're doing. What you should be doing is working. You ever notice you try to get a hold of Jimmy during the day? It's tough. And sometimes I'm like, Jimmy's just ghosting me. No, but Jimmy he's a busy person. He runs multiple companies and he's doing that to work on his personal time with his family. And I respect that very much. So that's the challenge. And then the last part.
Yeah, and I'll double tap that, Brian. Just recognize what you're doing here is a social media producer, not a social media consumer. Like right now I'm in a 90-day prayer challenge. So it's like no social media. So it's like I check my DMs for work, but like I don't. And then when I'm not in this challenge, it's 10 tiles a day. And I never let my child see me like on Facebook or Instagram. So I'm with Brian. I don't want this to detriment anyone's existence.
No, I agree. Yeah. So these are just 2 stupid posts and I'll play you them both.
The cowboy one was hilarious. Do that one first.
So on your phone, you can actually, let's see on the iPhone how that works, but if you scroll down from the top, there's a little circle within a circle that on there is a record function. So you can go onto YouTube and hit play and then record videos. I don't know if people knew that, but you could record your screen from your phone. So what I did is I go on there, and this is just I like to have fun with it. I'm a silly guy. All the fire guys know me. I'm a total goofball, but people want to press play because they're like, more cowbell, what are you talking about? So the excitement my partners get when I tell them they can get 10% monthly interest as a lender while we handle every aspect of the flip. And then so stupid, but do you want 10% more cowbell, right? And then this one is about I said, do you want to go investment streaking with me? Let's connect. And I'm just trying to have fun with it.
You can't go wrong with Will Ferrell, Brian.
Right. So those actually got people to be like, oh, I didn't even know you were doing real estate. That is about as stupid and easy as it can get, you guys. So here's my information. Write it down. I do have one more thing to go over, and this will take probably 2 minutes. I know we're kind of through our time. But yeah, these are my how you can get a hold of me anytime, day or night. Call me. I love talking about this stuff. Most of you have my information. You could check out my website a little bit, but I'm going to share, and then I'm going to drop some stuff in the chat. But I've actually written 2 ebooks, so I'll be at Barnes and Noble on Saturday signing books if anyone's in the area. This first one, and you guys will all get a copy of this, and this is going to be my gift to you guys, a way of giving back. Let's see if I can start at the beginning here. How do I go to the beginning? Oh, so this is the ebook. So what I did is I created this ebook because sometimes you don't have time to have that whole conversation. They're like, hey, send me more information on what you're doing. Boom, you send this over, and they're like, wow, Brian Waters wrote a book on private money, and this is my family, and it goes through what private money lending is, the benefits of them, is it secure, how do we protect their money, what are the next steps. It's just it's a professional thing. So when you go onto my website, there's gonna be a pop-up that comes, and this is gonna show up, and it's gonna capture your email. And now I can start sending you more content. But what I want to do for you guys, because I think we all could benefit by helping each other, is this took me a long time, you guys, a long time. But what you want to do is email me a picture of you or your family. I want you to send me a little introduction about this size, and I want you to send me contact information. What I'm going to do is I'm going to plug it into this, and I'm going to email you guys your own ebooks. You don't have to spend the time doing this. And yeah, I'll change your name to name here, change your picture. I'll change the intro. The rest of it is all good information. So yeah, happy to do that for you guys. I think that'll be a big, save you guys a lot of time and give you guys some more credibility. And then the last, so I'll drop that in the chat, and then I'll also put in my slide deck, which is what we're going to work on today. But this is my presentation, and I'll put it in there for ideas. Okay. And you, again, feel free to use any of this stuff. This is what I put together, and I could, when I'm pitching someone, I talk about all this. So thank you guys so much. I'm glad you're all here. Reach out whenever you want. And 30 days from now, we're going to come back, and I want someone to get on here and tell me about their social media content and how it's going. And so, that's the challenge. So thank you guys.
Brian, thank you so much. That's awesome. You're a great dude. Appreciate that.
You are the definition of go-giver, Brian.
Yeah, man.